Grand Rising, my friends. Hey there. Been thinking about you to the most beautiful subscribers. And if you're new, come on, jump on. Pull up a chair, sit up, roll up to the table with your partners, and let's get into it. Market looking a little bit better today. Bitcoin up 3% since yesterday. I mean, it's been bouncing around. Since last we talked, it probably was under 40, but now it's been bouncing around 42, 41, 43-ish a little bit. Look like it's consolidating and getting ready to bounce back up like most of the markets, even though I still think this week there may be, I don't say that. It's a lot of words saying there may be some disturbances in the force this week, or, Russia invading Ukraine. But we'll see. It's like the third week, going into the third week of February, and the Olympics are starting to wind down, and that may be less embarrassing then for Chairman Xi if his buddy Vladimir decided to roll up in Ukraine, and because the Ukrainian people are going to fight, and that's long. That's a whole other topic, long other discussion. Bitcoin at 42,889, Ethereum at 2,948, Binance at 408, XRP at 83 cents, Cardano 106, Solana $98, almost 99, Avalanche $83, Doge at almost 15 cents, Shiba Inu at 4.02988. Shiba Inu in the past couple of days, at one point that popped up like 17% on one day, so you never know. Going through stock market today was in a positive for a lot. I know the NASDAQ was really doing well, but futures are looking down for tomorrow. Here on this channel, if you don't know, but seems like maybe people who do know who watch these portions at least, and I'm super appreciative and hopefully getting something out of it. But we got that positivity, and that positivity help me in. Write some nice down in the comment section about someone who is meaningful to you and made you feel special, and forward in the video and say, hey, look what I wrote about you, nice down in the sections, just to you, a special message for all eternity, long as Google allows YouTube to exist with comments. You never know. They took away the dislike button. Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today, if you saw my the thumbnail, this is one of the rare occasions where I made a thumbnail before I recorded this. The DOJ sizes 3.6 is close to like 4.7 or 4.5 was stolen. 3.6 billion in crypto, and arrest 2 in connection with the 2016 Bitfinex hack. So it was a couple that they arrested. I can't pronounce his name. It's like Eli Lichtenstein and his wife Heather Morgan for conspiring to launder crypto connected to the 2016 Bitfinex hacks. The 119,756 Bitcoin, worth $72 million at the time, is now valued at about $5.1 billion. Since 2016 hack, individuals connected to the stolen coins have periodically moved small amounts of Bitcoin in separate transactions, leaving the bulk of the funds untouched. The DOJ reported that it had traced 25,000 Bitcoin of these 25,000 BTC of these transferred funds to financial accounts controlled by Lichtenstein and Morgan. Special agents were then able to gain access to and seize more than 94,000 Bitcoin, worth $3.6 billion at the time, from Morgan and Lichtenstein after the search warrant. So, hey, a couple together were able together to, seems like, socially engineer, keywords, remember that, this crime to gain access to, and it was like they were able to get authorized like 2,000 transactions to get all this money from everyone's accounts. And the United States government, through patience, and that's why, the blockchain is not this anonymous, you can't figure it out. If you got time and patience, enough money, which the United States government has, you will figure out, especially if someone makes a mistake. And they were, I won't say dumb because you're like, wow, these people must be geniuses. They got away with, at the time, 72 million, at this time, billions, which may be called, I think they're saying by a person, not let alone corporations. We're not talking that here. The corporations, but by persons, like the biggest crime, financial crime in history, right? Let me introduce you to Heather Morgan a little bit before we talk about how genius these people are, also known as Razzlekhan. Let's go big with that. This ain't even like, I'm not even go get to the choruses, but so she decided that she was also gonna be a rapper as well, and I guess she decided to take up rap from listening to how crickets speak to each other or squirrels talk, because I don't think she's ever listened to an artist who understood for a tenth of a second what hip hop means. So, yeah, that was Heather. And, she got a bunch of music, but all of it's gone. I mean, it's a crazy story. And it's going to be Netflix documentaries already being, shopped and ordered and started on and created for us. So be prepared to hear about Razzlekhan and the history of this as we go on. Sticking with our themes of crime today, Maryland man drugs father to access his $400,000 in Bitcoin. Liam Gershoni, a Maryland man in his 20s, spiked his father's tea with drugs in order to access his Bitcoin holding worth $40,000. So the person writing this didn't know. They said he slipped benzodiazepine, a type of depressant. No, benzodiazepine is a family of drugs. None of this is financial advice. None of this is medical advice. None of this is advice for you to decide which car color to get next. Okay? Nothing I say. I'm not your advisor. But benzodiazepines is a family. So he slipped a benzodiazepine, Xanax or Ativan or something into his father's drink. And his father went knocked out. And then this scumbag of a son, and I'm saying it, at the end of the article, you'll see where they got to, but scumbag of a son then took his father's phone and moved 400,000 of Bitcoin to an account he could control and converted 60% of it to Ethereum, telling his dad, and then Leslie was telling his dad, like, I'm going to give you the best retirement, Dad. You're just sitting on all that Bitcoin. You need to be doing something with it. You trying to tell somebody else what they need to do with theirs instead of what he had. But he was not trying to take his daddy money and want to convert it to Ethereum, probably throw it into a time wonderland or something. But his father didn't immediately wake up. After 2 days, a friend called the police, who later found him unresponsive in his bedroom. Took 4 days to recover from dehydration and acute organ dysfunction. He almost died because of this. And so now the son is in recovery, and a dad and a mom, who they say is a healthcare professional, is all saying, oh, this is the time he's changing. And look, it's two things you got to understand. If an addict is talking, they're lying. If their mouth is moving and words are coming out, they're lying to you. But any time could be that one time that it takes for any person can decide they want to change their life and get better. And you always got to be there for them. But it's difficult. So, you hope for the best. Maybe this was this rock bottom moment. And, he understands that his world is worth way more than that, especially his own needs. But, we'll see. But, he drugged his dad to get his Bitcoin. So be careful, man. Don't be talking about what you have to other people, That's why anything you probably will see on any of the other videos I put up, it will be small amounts that we play with. Now, something go big and blow up, and I'll be like, I'm gonna have to go move that away and do something else with it. But no, don't let people know what you have in this world. This new Chinese supersonic aircraft will fly from Beijing to New York in 1 hour. So basically, the long and short of it is this company, instead they're building basically it'd be equivalent to a Elon Musk SpaceX's Starship, but in a different package. Almost kind of look like will look like a hypersonic glide vehicle, which, going back to the weapons and how the weapons become the transportation and other things as well. All the missiles and everything that bombers and jets were to fight war, but then became what we use as transportation and other things. So these hypersonic glide vehicles that are being built by the militaries around the world, Russia, United States, China, I think also I read, if I remember correctly, India was also working on a hyperglide vehicle. Someone could basically take the design and just make and this would be considered a business class jet to be able to travel anywhere in the world in 1 hour. So the design of it here is with 2 rockets, a paraglider wing, but once you get up to speed, the rockets get up to speed, the hyperglide vehicle engine would kick in and it'll be able to skip up to the atmosphere, skip around the earth and land anywhere in the earth. And they talking about landing vertically. That's what I said. It's almost identical to what SpaceX has with Starship, will land vertically at its destination. So interesting. They said they plan to conduct ground tests by 2023 before carrying out its first test flight in 2024. If development proceeds on track, we'll have a crewed test flight in 2025. So maybe in 3 years, we'll be seeing planes literally traveling around the world in an hour. It's awesome because the universe is in much sharper focus with new algorithms and supercomputers. So basically, long and short of this is that astronomers have a very difficult time because the atmosphere of Earth, our planet itself, with all of their telescopes, acts as like a film, a lens. It's like looking from the bottom of the sea floor, trying to look up, and the waves are getting in the way. Well, they've been able to now, with new supercomputers and these algorithms, able to link up multiple satellites into bigger, kind of meshing them together to a bigger, quote unquote, satellite network, or telescopes, and meshing them together to be like bigger telescopes, around the world, to be able to see together, and then using these supercomputers and algorithms to clear out that filter of not only just our atmosphere, but also all of the solar debris being kicked in by our sun into our field of view. So now they're being able to, even this for James Webb kicking, we talked about James Webb plenty of times on here. Now they're being able to even see deeper in the space and more clarity than ever before. Where they said they were able to look now to where you were able to, look up, they call it full moon size parts of the sky. So that's how they will say, okay, this bit of the sky is about the size of a full moon, from Earth. And so then we'll look, they're looking at chunks of the sky and that type of size. And they're seeing, like, from that cube of space, we made a map of almost 7 billion pixels on which almost 250 galaxies are sharply visible. So looking into now, and even deeper. They said it has such exquisite detail. The radiation. They could probably pick up a cell phone on Mars with this technology. So, man, this is also, I think it's just incredible, us learning more about our universe and where we're from, where we're going, and when we start to talk about the different classes of civilizations, we'll be able to harness energy from not only bits of our planet like solar, or that's not necessarily from our planet, from the sun, but wind, or we're able to get coal up and oil. That's baby steps. Then we'll be able to use all the power, thermal, geothermal energy, tectonic energy of our entire planet. Then we'll be able to use the sun and Dyson spheres around the sun and collecting all the power from every planet in our solar system, and then being able to collect energy from and use materials from black holes and stuff. I mean, this is, thousands of years in the future, if everything go right in there, we don't destroy ourselves or get destroyed before we're able to have a backup, as, they talk about with the whole getting off Earth into moving on to the interstellar space, is that, just have a backup of humanity. But there's one thing that they're ready to be backed up, and knowing that I love you, you love you, God loves us, and that's all that matters.